Hi, this is Excel Plus for tips, tricks, all things fun with Excel, and it's time to chew bubblegum and kick ass with Excel. And I'm all out of bubblegum. See if you can guess which movie that quote's from. I'll mention it at the end. So this was an idea I got years ago, a really early version of Excel, pre-ribbon. I can't even remember which version it was. Quite early on, really, to be honest. I think I was listening to Offspring's Smash album at the time. It had just come out, so that probably dates it. Now, at the time I was working at a company that did a lot of data input, had a lot of data input clerks, and they broke their job down into nothing but keystrokes. Everything was a keystroke. The fingers had to be over the keys as often as possible, with the minimum number of keystrokes to complete each task. Use of the mouse, etc., was frowned upon, and it got me to thinking that the use of Excel is really a similar task, even if you're knocking up a slightly more tricky spreadsheet. Really, the time that you spend going to the mouse, looking for things, is just wasted time. It's not thinking time, it's just wasted time. So the more you can accomplish with your hands on the keyboard in the fewest number of keystrokes, the better. Now, since the advent of the ribbon, using the ribbon-driven shortcut keys is a bit of a pain. So say I want to do page setup, it's Alt PSP. So Alt PSP brings it up. That's probably the only one I use via the ribbon. So Alt activates the ribbon, PSP for page setup. Useful for accessing those features. However, luckily, all of the shortcut keys or quick keys, whatever you'd like to call them, that have been in Excel forever and a day. Most of them are still there, certainly in Excel. 2010, I haven't checked 2013, but I'm guessing that's probably quite similar. So I've gone through my early document, I've cleaned it up a bit. Probably there's the odd one in there that still shouldn't be there. And I've highlighted the ones that I personally use and find quite useful. And they're just combinations of the various key rows, from function key down to the space bar, and Control and Shift, Alt, and Alt and Shift. Now, some of them really you should know, like Control and C for copy, Control and C for copy, Control and V for paste. I mean, really, you should know those. If you don't, shame on you. Control and X for cut, Control and V for paste. Quite useful. Control and B for bold. These are very common ones. However, there's a few in there that I really do quite like, such as Alt and equals. Again, what do you do much time in Excel? You add things up. Alt and equals, insert a sum, and it tends to leap to where the most obvious column or row of numbers actually is for you as well, and highlights them automatically, which is quite good. Copy above, quite like that one as well. Control and this single quotation mark. That's quite good. I've got to copy a few numbers down. Yeah, not bad at all. So there's a few in there, obvious ones. F7, spell check, popular one. Control and F2 for print and print preview. Again, quite useful, but there may be other ones that you prefer. These are just the ones that are Control and 1 for format cell. And I've also left in mouse tips. So it's not just left click, right click. You can click with Shift, click with Control and Shift, Alt, and it's not just in the cell. You can click when it changes to an arrow on the corners of the cell, or there's the handle here. So if you click and hold on the handle, just left click, it will just fill down. Control and Z. If you right click on the handle, hold, it'll actually give you quite a few options. Fill without formatting. Yeah, that's quite a good one. And it's not just single click, double click. If you want to move within a region of data, double click on an edge and it'll move it down. So even using the mouse, if you get used to how the cursor changes on the different parts of the cell, you can actually increase your productivity. Last one I've left in is the slightly archaic Windows key. To be honest, the only one I use is Window and D. Really, just to view desktop. Again, but actually quite useful indeed. You may find something on there. Obviously, Windows key and Tab, but I would use Alt and Tab anyway. Now, Control Page Up and Page Down is moving me through the tabs rather than clicking on them. So I'll share that file with this tutorial. Again, it's probably not 100% accurate, and probably some of those cells where there are blanks, there is actually still a viable shortcut. I've tried to get it as accurate as possible, but it's such an old file, and there's so many different versions of Excel. But the popular ones, certainly the ones I still use, are all still there, still very useful indeed, and they save me time. So that's all for this one. Just a quick exercise in sharing a bit of information. Oh, and of course, the name of the movie. Come on, I'm sure you know. Chew Bubblegum, Kick Ass, the classic John Carpenter movie from the late 80s. They Live, the line spoken by the wrestler, and to be honest, a pretty weak actor, Rowdy Roddy Piper. So, any queries, please just email me, and maybe I'll use it in a future tutorial. Till then, you keep kicking ass with Excel.